I don't know really where to go. As an activist of Hillsborough County, I have upset the Tampa Police Department. I have upset the Hillsborough Sheriff Department, and they have illegally handled me in many ways. So I need to file charges of mail theft against my sister, her son, his girlfriend, Genesis, well, my sister, Alva Melreen Atkins, of her last address, I'm assuming, I don't know because I don't keep up with her. We fell out, was 6010 North 32nd Street. In our childhood and even adulthood, when times were hard, we go back home. The address that I see on these mail pieces she sent me is P.O. Box 8254. And the other address is some apartments, 5615 CLUMET Court Apartment 5615D. So I'm assuming that's building 5615 Apartment D. I'm not sure. So her son, her oldest son, Alexander Malik Thompson, he was stealing mail from me, well, from the mailbox, and now I'm sure it was from me, maybe from other family members too. This happened February 2022 on a Friday. Looked out the door, praying, asking God to help me, and he came and stood in the doorway trying to block my view, and I saw a dark, heavy set, well, heavy bottom, very hippie woman sashaying to the mailbox. I couldn't tell if she put mail in or took mail out. It looked like she was putting mail back in the box, which says to me that they have been stealing mail for a long time, right out that mailbox. And then they put back the junk mail, just like she just sent me junk mail. All you saw was junk mail, right? Well, I didn't receive notices from the Attorney General, Ashley Moody, in Tallahassee. I done received notices from the court for me to come to court, judgments in my favor. I done received mail from People Ready, Liberty Staffing, should have, from the U.S. Department of Labor, where I filed my complaints about what happened to me at work while working for People Ready, Liberty Staffing, and should have been some checks in there, my inheritance from my grandmother. Turns out there's probably a trust fund that has been distributed in increments. And I am alleging that my sister, her son, Alexander, maybe even Ava, maybe they've been taking turns. I get it for a period of time. You get it for a period of time. I get it this month. You get it that month. You get it that month. I don't know. I have received $0. And I want to file criminal charges. Whenever I go to the courthouse, they treat me like a joke. They stand around and laugh. I guess that's supposed to agitate me or something. Years ago, it did when I believed in justice in the courthouse. And I would file 15 complaints that day, handwritten. And, they never sent them anywhere. They have this little box that they keep it in. That's what Myronica was doing when we were going through the so-called foreclosure procedure. And allegedly, they sold the house on January 4th of 2023. Judge Cheryl Thomas would have been the one to facilitate that particular part of the fiasco. Now, I just said, let me start going to the chief judge, because the chief judge is where the power lays. They kept having people. They had Rick Melendi, the court administrator, come back out to personally tell me that, the judge can't change any rulings that another judge makes. No, we don't have to be rocket scientists. And Christina, the judicial assistant, she tried to give me the same rap because I'm supposed to be retarded, you see. After the bogus psychosis NOS label by Morton Plant Meese Hospital in Clearwater, Florida on May 26, 2004, when I was forced into an unnecessary C-section so that they could probably, well, I'm not going to go too far. I was angry and I stood up for myself as an activist. My friend fake friend, who I thought she was a friend, Natalie Renee Carnegie, was supposed to be helping me. She was there. Well, no, she wasn't there. She was allegedly calling by phone. And I thought she was trying to stand up for me. What I now think is she was calling and telling them she's crazy. If you could get her put in the psych ward and insane asylum, we need to take those children out of her care and custody. That's what I now think the conversation was. And they did take my children. I never brought those children home from the hospital. And I blame my mom, Dorothy Atkins, mostly because I told her I'm giving birth with a midwife, a home birth. And I wanted to do a water birth because that was going to be my last birth. I had one child that was 15, and I'm like, this is it. So we got to do the best we can. We're going to do everything right for these two. And they never even made it home. And my mother, Dorothy Jean Atkins, maiden name Stark, said, ugh, who in the world would want twins? I thought, wow, I hadn't ever seen that side of my mom because, she had always been sort of kind of supportive and a soft-spirited person, but maybe that was an act. I don't know what the truth is. So I will find it, though. So I'm asking you Gen Zers, my daughter, she believes in you guys really pretty heavy. And she's like, Gen Z will investigate, they dox people, they will get to the bottom of it. So my name is Alene, Alene, Dorothea, Dorthea, Atkins, Atkins. And I am certain that I have a trust fund, several of them actually. The one that I'm looking for, well, you have my name. I was born November 24th, 1970, as far as I know. That's the birthday I always celebrated. My childhood home is 6010 North 32nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610. I need to know, 1, am I dead? 2, do a asset search for me through all the world. As an activist, I helped many people who said they would leave me in their wills. My doppelgangers are about 20. And my siblings, every one of my siblings, my brother Anthony Atkins, if you can find out where he actually lives, he's probably, and if he's reported himself as being dead, and what would be the death certificate date that he died, and where did he allegedly die. His name is Anthony. His middle name is Cathartarus with a K, Atkins. He was born April 14th or 15th. In the year, he's 5 or 6 years older than me, so that would be 1964 or 65, somewhere up in there. He also grew up at 6010 North 32nd Street. I need to know the same thing about my oldest sister, Alva, Alva, middle initial M. Melreen is her middle name. Her last name is Atkins. She also grew up at 6010 North 32nd Street. My youngest sister, Ava, was born October 26th of 1973. Now, her name in the courts is AVE. So keep in mind when you're researching that these people are fraud workers. They change their name, they change their address, they change their profession. My brother had a company called Milestone Construction. He was a roofer. And his friend Damien comes to talk to me at Amazing Love Ministries while we're getting free food at the homeless shelter, and they're spending my money. They don't even have the decency to drop off $100 a week or send a stranger to give me $100 a week. They take everything and allegedly put insurance on me and allegedly are sending people to try to kill me, along with doing spell work, paying for people to do death magic and death spells to try to kill me. They used to be poisoning me a lot at these different homeless ministries, but as I exposed it, it has slowed up. And the reason I say it's slowed up, well, God said don't go into that. So if you could get me that information, I'm going to pay $100 for the information that you give me. So if you are sitting at home, you're a young kid, you have a lot of time after you get out of school, but you really know how to work that computer, I will give you a gift. It's not really payment, but a gift for the information because I was going to go to school to become a private investigator, and I messed around and told my fake friend, Letitia Karima Penn. Let's find out where she is, too. Letitia Karima Penn is from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Here she lived in Temple Terrace, Lutz, and off of Falkenberg and Dr. Martin Luther King. What was the name of that street? 48th Street she lived on, and she has a bunch of storage units. Let's find what kind of car she's driving. She was a part of it too. I'm sure she got paid. She's a Virgo. She ain't doing shit without getting paid. John Waldron currently lives at JL Young Apartments, last I knew. And he is the evil genius mastermind behind this whole plot. There is a man who says his name is Donnie, Donnie, Dwayne with a Y, Flowers, spelled just like flower with an S on it. I met him in the yard of 1316 East 15th Avenue. Now, I don't really know much about him. He said he was a surgeon. I'm pretty sure he's not a surgeon. I don't know if he even works in the medical field for real. So hunt him down and his information, actually. I think he moved somewhere after being paid off with my money to a condominium somewhere. Maybe check Trinity, Florida. Check Newport Richey area. And yeah. So thank you very much. How will you get it to me? Do you know how to get beyond hackers? If you know how to get beyond hackers, the phone that I pay for my daughter is area code 813-608-9587. We're in Tampa, Florida. And on Mondays, we go to Amazing Love Ministries on Columbus Drive and 34th Street. Perhaps you could leave a message there with Miss Barbara. Give it only to Miss Barbara, the founder, and maybe I'll get it. Thank you.